Okay, we're going to go through the setup of the Curt wireless brake control today. So you can see we've taken this out of the package. So one thing I'll show you, if you open the lid here, there's a sticker with your PIN number. You're going to need the PIN number to pair this to your phone. There's also a little card that comes with it, and this also has a copy of your PIN number also. So we're going to refer to that shortly. So first thing you do, you have to put the app onto your cell phone, and to do that, we're using an iPhone here. Android's going to be pretty much the same. Open your camera, and then if you hover over this barcode, it's going to pop up. It's going to say View in App Store. And it's going to come up and say Echo Smart Control. Now you can also manually search for this app if you'd like, but the easy way is to just open your camera and you just hover over that barcode. So go through installing this app. Okay, once the app loads, you're going to open this. It's going to ask you for permission to use Bluetooth. You're going to hit OK. We're going to tap to accept. You can read these warnings here and going to allow notifications. And we're going to hit get started. We're going to hit accept. Okay, the notifications come into play because once you set this up the first time, you don't have to run the app on your phone every time you're towing your camper. I mean, you can, and it'll show you any errors that may occur, but the notifications will beep your phone if for some reason there's a problem. So even if you don't open the app, that's why you want the notifications to be enabled. So once you do that, you can go through, just follow the directions on the screen. It's going to tell you to plug in the Echo. So we're gonna plug this in down here. Now, if there's any crud in your plug, you're going to want to clean that out first. And it's important that you have this plugged in all the way. And once it's in all the way, the lid actually comes down to hold it in. There's a little tab. That tab is what holds this in. So make sure it's seated firmly. It should insert fully, and it should be easy. Don't force it. It means there's something wrong with your plug if you have to force it in. It should go in nice and easy like that. You should then have a blue light flashing on the controller. If you're not getting that blue light, you may have a wiring issue or have missing wiring that needs to be finished on your vehicle. But once you see the blue light flashing, you'll continue to the next step. So we've plugged in, we're going to press continue. And we're going to scan for devices. This is going to find the Echo. And if you see up here, it says it found an Echo, not connected. We're going to tap that once. And it's going to say, would you like to pair? I'm going to click OK. And now it's asking us for the PIN number. So in this case, I'm going to refer to this piece of paper, 855654. 855654. Pair. Pairing successful. So at this point, this is set up, ready to roll. This is going to ask you which profile you'd like to use. This controller can store up to 5 different settings for 5 different trailers. we're only going to use this with profile 1 right now, so we're going to tap where it says profile 1. So up to this point, everything we've done so far, you only have to do this once. So this may seem like a lot, but remember, you only have to do this the first time to pair this with your phone. Once it's paired, it's going to save all those settings for you automatically. So all this you only have to do the one time. So now you're going to see on the bottom of the screen, it's going to say max output and also a sensitivity adjustment. So these buttons here, the plus and the minus, that's going to tell this how much braking power to send to the trailer brakes. It comes default set on 32. I think for most trailers that's fine. But if for some reason, you know, you had a wheel skid or something, you can bring that down a little lower. If you have a really heavy trailer and you feel like you're having a hard time stopping it, then you can plus that. You can go all the way up to 99. Most trailers, 99 is going to be too much braking. It's going to be really, really hard braking, so you probably don't need to do that, but you may want to go up a little bit. The sensitivity adjustment that's basically telling this unit how hard and how fast, how aggressive you want the brakes to be applied. This goes from 1 to 10. On the number 1 side of things, they're going to be applied gradually, fairly easy. If you go all the way up to 10 with this, when you touch the pedal, they're instantly going to apply the brakes, and they're going to come on pretty hard. Again, this depends on, you know, your driving habit, how fast, how aggressive you want the brakes to come on and off. For most people, they just leave that at 4. That's not as critical of an adjustment as the output. The output's really the one that you want to test before you start driving. And the way you test this big red button, this is actually a manual trigger for the brakes. And you can just hold this down and that turns on the brakes manually. So what I would do is, you know, once your trailer's hooked up, before you get on the highway and you start driving, you may want to go over to a parking lot and, you know, put your truck in drive and just let the truck idle at an idle speed, so you're only going 1 or 2 miles per hour, and then manually hold this button down. And you should feel the brakes on the trailer kick on, and it's going to stop your truck. If it doesn't, that's when you want to plus this. You can turn this up a little bit. 42, you can go up to 47. It goes by 5, I think, increments of 5. So turn that up so that you know the brakes are working, and you'll feel the brakes. Anytime you touch this, you should feel the brakes kick on manually. So this is why we want to have notifications enabled, because right now this gave me a danger warning. It's telling me it thinks the plug is disconnected from the vehicle. So this is great if you're driving down the road. If the plug falls out, even if you don't have your phone turned on, it's going to beep. It's going to alert you of this condition. Now, in this case, you know, it didn't fall out, but you can see I don't even have a trailer plugged in for the video, and it thinks, you know, it sees there's no trailer and it's warning me. It's saying, hey, there's no trailer. Pull over and check your wire. So that's one of the warnings you may see on here. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, we're in profile 1. Remember that button, that's to manually test. So once you've manually tested your brakes and you know that they are working And I'd recommend you manually test these before you go drive away. Yep, there we got our error again that there's no trailer. Once you're driving down the road, anytime you step on the brake pedal, you'll see that this will turn blue. So just like when we test it manually, anytime you touch your brake pedal, you're gonna see this come on by itself. So once you've set this the first time and you've used it, you don't need to have your phone open anymore. It's gonna basically run itself.